9. NBA players who returned to their original teams. With the news of Paul Pierce wanting to go back to Boston and retire as a Celtic, it got me thinking, who are the other players that left their original teams but then eventually came back to play for them once again? Some of these players on this list didn't retire on that same team, but still returned to play where it all started. Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson will not be on this list because they retired and came back to their teams instead of leaving them for other teams and then returning. Derek Fisher. Drafted by the Lakers in 1996, he would go on to win 3 championships in LA. Then after the 03-04 season, he would sign with the Golden State Warriors, then later on was traded to the Utah Jazz, but eventually asked to be released from his contract in 2007 due to health complications with his daughter. Fisher decided that the best place for him and his family was in LA, so he rejoined the Lakers to win 2 more championships. He didn't retire in Los Angeles, but I'm sure the Lakers organization greatly appreciates his contribution that helped hang 5 more banners in the Staples Center. Jason Kidd. He was selected 2nd overall by the Dallas Mavericks in 1994. He showed flashes of brilliance early on with Dallas, even winning co-Rookie of the Year with Grant Hill. He played his first 2 seasons with the Mavs, then played the next 5 years with the Phoenix Suns. He would eventually land in New Jersey, where he led the Nets to 2 consecutive NBA Finals appearances, but lost both series. But after a couple unsuccessful years in New Jersey, he went back to the team that drafted him. In 2011, Jay Kidd and Dirk Nowitzki helped the Mavericks win their first ever NBA title. Kevin Garnett. In 1995, the Minnesota Timberwolves took Kevin Garnett with the 5th overall pick. He played 12 seasons as a Timberwolf and was named the most valuable player in 2004. That same season, he carried the Timberwolves to the Western Conference Finals but couldn't get the job done. But after a couple more subpar seasons with the T-Wolves, he helped form a super team with the Boston Celtics in 2007. The first year the revamped Celtics were formed, they won the title in 2008. He eventually tried to go on another championship run with the Brooklyn Nets but had no success. In 2015, he decided to go back where it all started, and after his 21st and final season, he retired as a member of the Minnesota Timberwolves and will certainly have his jersey retired up in their rafters. Allen Iverson. He was the number 1 pick in the draft by the Philadelphia 76ers in 1996. He was pretty successful in Philly, winning the MVP in 2001 and taking the Sixers to the NBA Finals that same year, but couldn't claim the title. 5 years later, he teamed up with Melo in Denver, but wouldn't stay there long, and struggled to find a new home to play basketball. But the city that he loved wanted Iverson back for one more go-around, and happily kissed the court that he eventually retired on. He will always be an all-time favorite for the city of Philadelphia. Chris Webber. He was originally picked by the Orlando Magic in 1993, but began his career in Golden State. He had an outstanding first year with the Warriors, winning Rookie of the Year and helped return the Dubs back to the playoffs. He played for multiple teams in his 15-year career, but his most relevant time was with the Sacramento Kings in 2002, where he helped the Kings get to the Western Conference Finals but was eliminated in 7 games. He would play for just a few more years after that, but ultimately calling it quits with the Golden State Warriors, where he began. Scottie Pippen. Pippen was mostly known for being Michael Jordan's right-hand man during the Chicago Bulls dynasty era, where they won 6 world championships. But after MJ's retirement in 1998, Scottie knew that he had to seek for success somewhere else. That following year, he was traded to the Houston Rockets, but it only lasted 1 year due to chemistry problems with the team. He would then land in Portland, where he had 4 successful years with the Trail Blazers, but couldn't match the success that he had in Chicago. So going into his last season, Chicago convinced Scottie to put on the Bulls uniform for one last year, but they would not make the playoffs, which would be the first time in Pippen's career, ultimately retiring in that year's offseason. Chris Mullin. Selected 7th by the Golden State Warriors in the 1985 NBA Draft. He would play his first 12 seasons in the Bay Area, where he made 5 All-Star appearances and made the playoffs 5 consecutive years. He would relocate in 1997 to the Indiana Pacers, where he wouldn't have much playing time due to the emergence of Jalen Rose. And after 3 seasons with the Pacers, in the year 2000, Mullin decided that he would suit up for one last year, and the team he eventually decided to sign with were the Golden State Warriors, where he played his most prominent years of his career. Steve Nash. Snagged by the Phoenix Suns with only the 15th pick in the draft in 1996, he proved early on that he deserved to be drafted much higher than that. But in his first 2 seasons, he played a supporting role, backing up Jason Kidd in the point guard position. He would team up with Dirk Nowitzki a short time later with the Dallas Mavericks, where they would have 6 very productive years, but he would really show his true greatness, returning back in Phoenix, winning back-to-back MVPs. He made the Suns an amazing team during those times, and is one of the greatest to ever put on a Suns jersey. And finally, LeBron James. Going in the 2003 NBA draft, everyone knew that LeBron James was the next superstar, and his hometown Cleveland jumped on the opportunity to draft him #1 overall. He instantly emerged as one of the league's top talents. Almost single-handedly, he guided the Cavaliers to the NBA Finals in 2007, but the Spurs were too experienced. In 2010, there was a rumor involving his mom and a teammate, and whether the rumor was true or not, he needed to have a fresh start somewhere else, and ultimately took his talents to South Beach. He won back-to-back titles with the Heat, but it wasn't that meaningful winning it in Miami than it would be winning it for his hometown in Cleveland. So after all the drama blew over, LeBron decided to pack his bags and give it all he had to finally deliver a championship to the city of Cleveland. And he accomplished his goal, giving the city their first NBA championship in franchise history.
Cleveland! This is for you!
I know I probably missed some players, but these were the players that stood out to me. I hope you really enjoyed this video. Make sure to comment down below and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.